You've got also flying beings who are hovering above certain objects and things like that in the Mayan. By a skull cap similar.
Look at this.
There is one statue that we can.
Okay, see these wings? See the wings in the back? You see this? I think this is the helmet that goes on top of his head. Alright, the next shot they're going to go to, I was looking at this. This seems like something very interesting I want to tell you to look for. It seemed to me like this is some type of gyro pack. You got some, let me show you what I mean. Okay, look at this right here. Let me show you what's weird and what's really incredible.
That clearly shows an Olmec wearing some type of a flight suit. To me, this depicts nothing else but someone from Africa having visited Central America in a type of a flight suit and with some type of craft.
Okay, look. It looks like he's standing with his left foot forward right there. That's what it looks like, just like the ancient Kemetic people stand in their statues. This is like a flight pack, like a gyro pack, a suit that you can use to propel your body somewhere. Now, this is where I'm confused at. I don't know if this actually existed, where they actually had this type of flight capability, or if they displaying a message. Okay, they could be saying, you know, we can fly with our bodies, because I know I do that. Our astral projections. This is what they could be saying symbolically, like the bird. See, in Egypt, they showed you the bird. They had the ka bird in Egypt, where you could see the bird, which is synonymous with the same type of personification of flight capability to each individual. Right here, they got a symbolic representation of the human body having its own flight suit. Now, this is just theoretically with me. I don't have no way to prove this, but this is what I think I'm picking up. The symbolism of this flight suit for the body is their way of transmitting their knowledge of astral projection as to where the body, spiritual energy, which is the true essence of self, can take on flight capabilities in flight. Efforts being administered gets you from point A to point B. Now, the reason why I can tell you this is because I do it a lot. Lately, I've been astral projecting a lot, and I've been forgetting my dreams. So I believe I remember a few, or now I shouldn't call them dreams. I should call them adventures that my soul go to when I leave this sarcophagus and go venture in other realms of time and space. I've been finding myself where this stuff comes to me in strange, peculiar episodes of what else. Here go one right here. In Egypt, they had a ka bird. The ka bird represents spirit leaving body and having its own, doing its own thing. Right here, they don't have a bird, but they gave the synonymous relationship of a bird in this costume or this equipment that you're looking at. This will be a headgear. So this is a representation of a man having flight, just like the representation on the Kemetic walls being the bird leaving the body, the spirit leaving the body. Right here, this could be a representation of the spirit in the flight circumstance of astral projection. That's what all this represents. It's human flight, the possibility, the capability of self-momentum. Spiritual. You have to understand that. The people who was around these statues understood the true reality of that, so it was not hard for them to know what they were looking at or understand what they were looking at. If my hypothesis is correct, there's two options. Or either this could have well been a gyro pack that these people were capable of flying around with these little jumpsuits that they put on their personifications and flew through the sky with. That's theoretically possible too. So let's go forward. Let me show you what we got next.
You've got the legs here.
See, forward, the left foot forward. Just like in Kemet, walk with your left foot forward to stamp out evil. It's just obvious to you that they made it perfectly clear that he was going with his left foot forward. Now I'm saying this is the launching, or sometime in history of the Federation. The same people that I tell to you guys I know live in the belly of the earth, because I've been there myself. I know myself to be a part of all this right here. My hypothesis, my theory is that I was able to encapsulate in body, just like a lot of other people on this earth is encapsulated in body, walking around here as God and goddesses with knowledge of self of that. A lot of people is not as open about who they are as I am. I get a lot of people from a lot of stuff from the metaphysics community, warnings that I should be worried and be afraid and all that stuff, but they don't understand. I was sent here to do my job the way that I'm doing it. I'm not supposed to walk around and be afraid. I'm supposed to be as exposing of what has gone on this earth as possible. That's what my job is, to regenerate the earth. And the only way you can regenerate something is by destroying what caused the decadence. And the decadence on this earth is lies about who we as a people are. This is plainly in your face, synonymous with all the little small statuettes of Egypt found all over the planet, us showing ourselves as people with flight capability of the cosmos. It's funny that all over the earth you see our black skin synonymous with the black space all around us. And we always have this type of stuff showing you that we have been and always will be flying through space. And then you got the white man who show up that can't do it. You see his rockets with all those stupid boosters and the pollution and everything he got going for him. And I have to talk about that just to point it out to you, not to be mean to them. But he's the one who want to make you believe that you can't do this. But now all of a sudden they're changing their stories and they're bringing all this stuff out that they've had hid forever. Because we got the Federation flying around here that's letting them know, you better start telling people the fucking truth, and you start telling them right now. See, that's what that's all about.
In a modern day astronaut suit, and there's also some type of a...
More so than any of the societies at the time.
The Mayans were absolutely convinced that
Can't believe that.
sculptures that were carved as hundreds, and yes, and might further...
The Mayans and
Pardon me on that. Okay. Here we go.
two are the alien ETs.
There is one statue that we can find that clearly shows an Olmec wearing some type of a flight suit. To me, this depicts nothing else but someone from Africa having visited Central America in a type of a flight suit and with some type of craft. You've got the legs here like in a modern day astronaut suit, and there's also some type of a life support pack that's on his chest. There are 6 wings, and the head is clearly enclosed by a skull cap similar to modern day astronauts. So what we have here, in my opinion, is nothing else but depictions of physical extraterrestrial encounters hundreds, and yes, even thousands of years ago.
See, extraterrestrial encounter, but he failed to mention the fact that it was a melinated person. All
There
these
is considerable
things
evidence
got left out.
linking the Mayans and the Olmecs to extraterrestrial beings.
I mean, it's just amazing how they would write
You
in
have
the
at
face
La
of it.
Venta, many of the Olmecs wearing curious masks. Also at Tikal, they're wearing what look like space masks with respirators.
Oh man,
You've
all
got
this,
also
all this.
flying beings.
That's what I wanted to get at. Now look at this face. See how Asian looking it is? But this is in the Americas. Now this is the thing that he was holding on his chest that I told you was a part of his headgear, remember? I said, no, that's not chest gear, that's his headgear. You can see it on his head now. And then look right here what he's got. He's got controls to something. And if you can look good, you can see these wings. They're like coming out to the side, or if you will, thruster boosters shooting fire out. You see that? Like a gyro pack. Can you see that? Look. Like it's shooting fire right there. You see it? And right here. Just like we see on TV when they be, and then he got his hands where he can have two controls at. You see this thing on top of his head now? Okay? You see all this? Now let's go back. Let me show you where we just saw that at a minute ago. Look, there it goes right there. See, he's holding it in his hand now. Now look at that he's holding in his hand. And imagine if it wasn't there in his hand, if it was up on top of his head. And then what'll be back there that you don't see right now is those two control knobs that he had. And then here's the wings now on the wall, spread it out to the side, with the booster pack that you don't see right here in the back, pointed down. So these wings were used for guidance, how to guide them through flight, according to what we're looking at. There's a thruster pack and everything. Look what I'm talking about.
A flight suit. To me, this depicts nothing else but someone from Africa having visited by a skull cap similar to modern-day astronauts. So what we have here, in my opinion, is nothing else but depictions of physical extraterrestrial encounters hundreds and yes, even thousands of years ago.
There is considerable evidence linking the Mayans and the Olmecs to extraterrestrial beings. You have at La Venta, many of the Olmecs wearing curious masks.
See, the thing is, I believe that we were all brought to this earth and planted here from our ancestors, our mothers and fathers, who are all space travel capable. So like our mothers and fathers, of course, we had the same capabilities. So at times, the earth itself was a big platform of a planet of nothing but spaceship capabilities. And still like that today, according to Morris Donaldson, they just moved everything into the belly of the earth. Now, me, myself, I have in and out moments of clarity and consciousness that I have actually gone into the earth myself and saw the hangars down there full of all of this stuff that we're seeing right now. I've actually launched myself an astral projection to places where I've gotten to other ships and left in those other ships, and actually seemed like I became absorbed as the ship, because the next day when I returned, I was walking around this apartment for about 6 hours in the morning after I woke up with nothing but my eye vision, seeing myself as nothing but those big orbs that you see up by the sun. I was still remnants of one of those things inside of my personification back on this side right here. And I can remember that. It's like my spiritual energy left my body's sarcophagus and went to the other side and actually became a part of that energy and was flying around in that spaceship with nothing to do with this body physicality that's here right now, outside of my impulse of memory of being attached to it. After I've completed what my objective was on that side of the realm of time and space, I returned here to this body with remnants of that energy of light still so abundant inside, and still so that absolutum of myself, as to where when I came back to this physical body and was in it, actually walking around this apartment and doing things, I was seeing myself as the light, being the light, and actually saw myself for the next 2 or 3 days being in the kitchen and the bedroom at the same time. And this is no lie, I'm telling you the truth. At one time, my brain was working so fast that I was on a ship, on another ship that was breaking away from the ship,